Tobias Mackey and Clinton Allen in our generation, in our formation of organizing um, against police terrorism and violence. I think them two cases actually opened the door and was the catalyst for the energy that built up, locally, um, to get oversight. Now, Mike Brown, Trayvon Martin in 13, 14, had a big part to play in that too. But when you talk about locally, Tobias Mackey, and really, I was a Johnny come lately on Tobias Mackey. That was I feel your work and everybody else who was working on it, that was working with the family and helping them through their legal case and all of that stuff. But that being able to highlight that case and that case actually winning a lawsuit, the family actually winning a lawsuit against the city, I think was a big part of all of this, right? Because if you think about it, that kind of happened around the time when the case was won not too long before we actually won oversight, right? So we used Tobias Mackey case as an example of y'all are losing money because of what you letting the police brutalize people out here, right? And it was the first. I think it was the first part of Lil Bobby. What was Lil Bobby name?
Bobby Walker.
Lil Bobby Walker as well. But that was dark, But I think that was the first parts of us having high profile cases that started being on the consciousness of the city where people really start talking about it. You know what I'm saying? And then when Clinton Allen came, when Clinton Allen was killed, we had been organizing. We had been organizing around policing accountability, reform, trying to, all the things, police violence, police terrorism, all of that stuff. We was organizing in all those fronts, and we organically came to the conclusion that we needed to put our efforts around police oversight, right? Mm-hmm. And so, Clinton Allen was pivotal in that because that was around the time when we kind of matured a little bit too in what we were doing at time. At that time, it was just us. It was a small group of people who was going down there making noise, doing the protests and whatever. Now, when Mike Brown and Trayvon Martin in 2013, 2014 kicked off, we had bodies. People start coming. You know what I'm saying? People start coming and showing up. And those protests where it was 20 people turned into 200, 500, you know what I'm saying? 1,000. And so because of that energy, just the discontent of the people, like getting people's bodies out in the street, and Clinton Allen and our maturity, because we had been organizing, we had been pushing, and we realized that, hey, we just can't be the face of the movement. We got to make the face of this movement the mothers of the people who are getting killed. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And so I remember the meeting where we sat in there and we talked about this strategically, and we said, Miss Collette and Clinton Allen, your story is going to be the story that we're going to use to start a new organizing strategy that's going to center around mothers and call it Mothers Against Police Brutality, right? So that was, myself, you, Stephen Benavidez, some other people was in there. Sarah McCurry was in there. Miss Colette Flanagan. Miss Flanagan, if you see this, hello. I ain't seen you and heard from you in a while. I miss you. But yeah.
I want to say too publicly that Miss Colette Flanagan, Mothers Against Police Brutality, made a donation in support for the park sign for Fahim J. Minka Community Park.
She did?
They gave $1,000.
Wow.
So, yeah, even though we hadn't really talked in some time, she did at least, by way of John Fullenwider, send $1,000.
Well, I love you, Miss Flanagan. You know what I'm saying? I miss you. But, like John Fullenwider was in there. I mean, there was people who had been organizing and doing this thing, and at that time, we were Dallas Communities Organizing for Change. We Before that, we was communities organized against police terrorism. But what happened was we had to keep retweaking and evolving our message. I think the story in that, the organizing lesson in that, is we had a bunch of different formations on how we was trying to attack. I mean, we even working, in the New Black Panther Party and other groups was doing the same kind of work. But as we got more mature in our organizing our strategy, we realized that, we couldn't be the ones to be the face of the movement. And that's a big lesson to learn. Is one of my mentors, Baba Kamal Onipere, who passed away, rest in peace, he used to say, you got to know what battle dress to wear for whatever battle you're going in. But in order to do that, you got to know the terrain, right? Mm-hmm. So like the terrain demanded that we use Miss Colette Flanagan and Mothers Against Police Brutality. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And so, I'm proud to say that we help start Mothers Against Police Brutality, even though, we ain't listed as founders or get no credit for that, but yes, we did.
Especially you.
Yeah, I mean, I did the logo, I did the website, I did the press release, sneaking, printing out the first press conference, sneaking while I was working at Dallas Morning News, printing out.
Benavidez got a little bit in that.
Yeah, Benavidez helped out. I mean, it was a lot of people that worked on that. And so, but know your terrain. You gotta know your enemy. You gotta know your terrain, and then you gotta know what suit to wear to battle. You know what I'm saying? And so we wouldn't have got oversight without, rest in peace, Tobias Mackey, rest in peace, Clint Knapp.
Peace, power. Thank you for that statement, sir.
Yeah.